Hey everybody, it's Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a game called Monsters and the Things That Destroy Them. Monsters and the Things That Destroy Them is a game from Joey Vigor and published by Vigor Games. Plays 2 to 4 players in about 20 minutes. Now, what this game is, this is a micro game, which means it's not a lot of cards and you're using these cards in interesting ways. So this game has 21 cards, and effectively what you're doing is at the end of the game, you're trying to have the highest numbered monster in your hand to win. But every monster can be negated by some kind of tactical card. So you're trying to figure out what people are taking, what you have, to make sure that if someone has this card, you don't put this in your hand at the end. So that's effectively what the game is. This box has a couple different games. It has the deep, which is what I'm going to show you, and it also has the dark. Different types of monsters, gameplay similar. I kind of like the art on the deep a little bit better, which is why I went with that. So yeah, that's enough talking about it. Let's go on the table. Check it out. Alright, so here's a game of Monsters and the Things That Destroy Them. Incident number 2, which is called the Deep. That's the one I'm going to be showing you. There's also the Dark, which I'm not going to be playing. It's effectively the same thing, but I think this one's a little more interesting, so I wanted to show you this one. Alright, so the way that this game works is it's effectively like a memory and bluffing game, and we're going to be playing through this deck. Now, the way the game works is you're going to set it up like this. You're going to shuffle the deck, flip 4 cards into the pool. Each player is going to get 1 card face down into their discard pile, which I've done there. Now this is a prototype, so you're going to see some growl sleeves, and some of these cards are just like paper in the sleeves, but this is, I think the art might be final, but so this is a prototype, just keep that in mind. Now on your turn, what you're going to do is you're going to take a card from the pool, number 1. Take a card from the pool to your hand. Say its name, number out loud, trigger it, resolve it if it's a card and not a tactical card, all right? So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to do the Hydra. So I'll take the Hydra, and then I'll do this. So I say Hydra 4. Take the top card from an opponent's discard pile into your hand. Your hand is +1 until resolution begins. So normally you have a hand size of 3. Now I have a hand size of 4. And I also have taken the fair winds from my opponent, and it's in my hand. So that's my hand. Just hangs out there. All right, then we refill the pool. Other player's turn, they're going to do the same thing. So they will take Scylla. I don't know if I'm saying the names right. But they'll take Scylla. Look at the top card of the deck or any discard pile. You may trigger it or move it to the bottom. So they're going to look at the deck. So they're going to move it to the bottom. There's nothing to trigger. And now Scylla is in their hand. So this player has Scylla. All right. Refill the pool. Now it's my turn. You may take the top card or the bottom card of your discard pile in here. Let's do that. So I'm going to take the Kraken, and I will put the top card or the bottom card. I only have 1 card, so I'll put Captain Nemo into my hand. I have a hand size of 4, so I'm good. If you went over your hand limit, you have to discard down. All right, so let's see. What's Nessie do? I'm going to take the Leviathan, 11. You may look at any card in any hand or discard pile. So I want to look at this one. So I'll flip it. Captain Nemo. So now this player knows that I have Captain Nemo. And this goes in their hand. And done. Alright. Now we have Cetus. Choose an opponent. They must give you a card. If you get one, you may give a card back. Alright, so I'm going to take Persevere. I'll take Poseidon's Trident. Doesn't do anything now. It's a 0. But I have to discard a card. Normally you wouldn't know what card I'm going to discard, but I'll discard that card. Like you go in your hand and you bluff and put stuff in discard piles and all that stuff. Alright, so now that's the Nautilus. I have Captain Nemo. If I can end the game with Captain Nemo and the Nautilus, I automatically win the game. So I want to try to get that. This player knows I have Captain Nemo, so they're not going to let that happen. They're going to take the Nautilus, put it in their hand. Nothing happens because they have 3 cards. All right, that's really lame. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to take Cetus, this player. Choose an opponent. They must give you a card. If you get one, you have to give a card back. So they're going to give me... They have Scylla, Leviathan, and Nautilus. They're going to give me Scylla. So they have 2 cards now. I have 6 I need to discard down. So let's see. What do I have here? So I have 3, 8. This, so I want to discard this one. I don't have to discard yet, but I'm going to give them... I'll give them this one, Hydra. So they now have Hydra. I have to discard 1 card, and I will discard this one. They'll probably think it's Captain Nemo. So, because they know that now that I don't have the Nautilus, I don't really care about Nemo anymore. All right, let's see. So it's this player's turn. They are going to take Dagon. So they take it. They may look at the top card of any discard pile. They'll look at mine. So 7 or 8 cancels. Don't care about that one. We'll get into what those do in a little bit. So this will go into their hand. They have a hand limit of 3. So they have these cards. They're going to go ahead and discard the Nautilus because they don't need it. All right, so then that's their hand. Flip that. All right, and that's how the game's going to work for this part. You're going to play till the deck is empty. So let's just say we drew all the cards and the deck is empty. Okay, everybody's had equal amount of turns. Then what's going to happen is you're going to look at your hand, and we're going to move down to the resolution, discard to 2. So we're going to look at our hands. What we're going to do is we're going to pick 2 cards that we want to play. And the goal of this is to try to have the highest value of cards by the end of this to win. Now, some of these tactical cards, you can see if someone played the 9 or a 10 in their hand, it would cancel that if I kept that. So these tactical cards are going to be canceling these cards. So that's why they're important. Don't do anything during the game because they all fire off right now. This player has these cards. So they're going to discard Hydra into their own discard pile. They're going to have 11 and 10. I'm going to keep these 2. Again, there would be more cards, so I probably would have gotten some stuff out of the discard pile and all that stuff to help with that, but c'est la vie. Then what you're going to do is you're going to reveal your highest card. So this player is going to reveal their 11. I'm going to reveal my 9. Then we're each going to reveal our other card. They're going to reveal a 10. They're going to reveal an 8. If there's any of these cards that are played, those get fired off now. If not, you add up the totals. So you'll see this player has 21. This player has 17. They're the winner of the game. And that is how you play monsters and the things that destroy them. Let's go to the top, see what they think about it. All right, well, that was Monsters and the Things That Destroy Them. So that's a long title. I probably said it wrong at least once. So yeah, this is an interesting little game. It's a micro game. I'm a fan of micro games. Love Letter. What's another one? I know we have another one. I can't think of it right now. But Love Letter is the classic example. You have like 20 cards. You're drawing a card, you're playing a card, at the end of the game you want to have the higher number. That's kind of what micro games do. This one is a micro game. So I enjoy this game. Joey Vigor and Vigor Games, they also did a game called Growl, which is a party game, plays up to like 10 players, where you're trying, it's a riff on werewolf. You're trying to be, if you're a werewolf, you're trying to infect the humans to win the game. The humans are just trying to have one person stay alive so they can win the game, that kind of thing. So it's got some bluffing and all that thing. So Joey clearly enjoys bluffing because that's kind of what this game has. It's got a little bit of a memory aspect. So if I take the 10 card and someone has this card that negates the 10 card and the 9 card, they're going to need to remember where that 10 card is. But the tricky part is I can then put it in my discard pile. Then I can maybe get a card that lets me rearrange my discard pile. I may get a card that lets me pull stuff out of my discard pile. So just because you think you know where it is doesn't mean it's actually in my hand. It could be in the discard pile. Or I could have swapped it with somebody because there's some cards that let you trade cards. So it's a lot. It's a lot to think. You may, like, the memory's there, but at the end of the day, really, you're not sure. You can see somebody take something, but there's so many other cards that you can take that can move stuff around that you really have no idea. And honestly, I think at the end of the game, it's more beneficial to have 2 of these cards in your hand as opposed to 1 of these cards and 1 of these cards. Because what if you play this card and no one plays that 9 or 10? You effectively wasted a chance for you to get some points, which, you know, yes, it's worth like 2 points, but still, it's not, you know, 21. So I don't know, it's just something that I think the point cards are more beneficial than these, but I understand these. This keeps people thinking and maybe makes them play different numbers because they're afraid that this will get played on them. So this is an interesting little game. I believe it's going to be hitting Kickstarter tomorrow at the time of this recording, which is February 1st, I believe. I'll put a link in the video description and note if that's incorrect, but I'm pretty sure that's right. So if you enjoyed what this game does and the look of it, you can go check that out on Kickstarter. So that is Monsters and the Things That Destroy Them. Is that right? Yep. From Joey Vigor and Vigor Games. I'm Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and as always, keep gaming.